Hi everyone, this is your Tampa Bay Realtor Lance Moore, and in this video, I'm going to give you 5 critical tips when buying a new home. And I would highly recommend you stay and watch the entire video because I'm going to show you how to save time, save money, and save frustration. Before I get into the 5 new home tips, I want to ask you a favor. If you like this video, please share it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, because if you find this video helpful, if you like this video, a lot of other people are going to find it helpful as well. So let's start off with tip number 1. The first tip is use a real estate agent when you're buying a new home. I talk to a lot of buyers, and a lot of buyers think, well, I'm buying a brand new home. Why should I use a real estate agent? Or if I use a real estate agent, it's going to cost me more money, or I could get a better deal if I don't use a real estate agent. Or they might even think, well, I'm using a real estate agent. Am I going to have to pay the agent money? So the question is absolutely not. The real estate agent and their brokers are paid by the builders. The money, their commission, is already baked into the price of the home. So whether you use a real estate agent to help you and represent you or whether you don't, it's not going to make any difference. And let me explain what I mean. Let's say the builder's fiscal year end is December 31st. The builder is going to put their projections together in October, maybe early November, but probably October. And in their projections, they're going to go over everything for the following year. They're going to know approximately how many homes they're going to be building, how much land they're going to be buying. They're going to go over their marketing costs, their advertising costs. They're going to figure out what percentage of their homes sell through real estate agents. Usually it's 70 to 80%. They're going to bake that money in there in the marketing budget. Then they're going to take the sales representatives and they're going to put that money in there. They're going to take their construction manager bonuses and put that money in there. And in other words, everything's going to be in there already. So when you go out to a builder, the money's already baked in there, whether you use a realtor or whether you don't use a realtor. So tip number 2, it's to use your realtor for negotiations, to negotiate with the builder. Let me give you an example. A while back, I had a buyer. Him and his wife called me up. I talked to him a year prior. They liked me, so they were ready to buy a home. Their lease was over. He called me up and he said, we already identified where we want to live. He had the subdivision. He even had the builder. And so I got the information and I said, well, what'd the builder tell you they'd sell you the home for? And he said $198. And I said, okay, I know the sales rep. Let me give Carrie a call. I'll call you back in about 5 minutes, see what I could do. And he said, all right. So I picked up the phone. I called Carrie and I said, hey, Carrie, this is Lance. What do you think Jean Ann would have let the home go for? And he said, well, hold on. Let me put you on hold for a little bit. And he had to go pull the numbers. Now, Jean Ann's the owner of the company, and this isn't a small builder. They're one of the largest builders in the nation. So he went and pulled the numbers. He comes back and he says, well, we could let it go for $193. And I said, does that include the garage door opener? He said, yeah, I'll throw a garage door opener in there. So I called the buyer back and I said, hey, Mark, this is Lance. I said, just got off the phone with Carrie. They'll let it go for $193 and a garage door opener. And he told his wife, and his wife says, I heard her on the other end of the phone, she says, how in the hell can they do that? How can they sell it for less money when they have to pay him a commission? And I said, put your wife on the phone if you would. So she picked up the phone. I said, hey, Joe, it's Lance Moore. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, how many homes do you think you're going to be buying through this builder? And she said, well, probably just this one. And I said, yeah. I said, you think the builder knows that? And she said, well, yeah, I'm sure they do. And I said, okay, let's say in the next 1, 5, 10 years, how many friends, family members, co-workers are you going to tell how great this builder is? And through your recommendation, they're going to buy a home through this builder. And she says, well, and I said, probably none, right? And she said, yeah, probably none. I said, you think the builder knows that? And she said, well, yes. I said, okay. I said, well, last year I sold 12 homes through this builder. Their average sales price is $250,000. they run about a 20% net profit margin. So that's about $50,000 per home. 50,000 times 12, $600,000. I said, so last year alone, I basically helped this builder net $600,000. Who do you think they're going to give the better deal to? Who do you think they want to work with? Who's going to sell their homes next year? Now, maybe I might sell 5 of their homes next year. Maybe I might sell 20 of their homes next year. Maybe I'm going to sell 50 in the next 10 years or 100 in the next 10 years. Who knows? But that's the point I'm trying to make. If you hire an agent that works a lot with new home builders and an agent that knows what they're doing, and I would highly recommend if you hire a real estate agent, especially for new construction, don't think all agents are the same. Hire someone who knows what the heck they're doing, who knows how builders work and how to negotiate with builders. Now, one thing I want to add about negotiations, I always tell my buyers up front, I say, I may not be able to get the home for what you want it for, but I'll tell you this, I will get the home at the best possible deal the builder's going to let it go for. You're not going to find anyone else in your subdivision that's going to get it for a better price. So I always want to tell people that up front because expectations are everything. I just want to be completely upfront with people and tell them the way it is. So whatever real estate agent you hire, make sure they're always shooting you straight and giving you the honest information that's going to help you. All right, tip number 3 is dealing with issues and problems. So I also always tell my buyers when I'm talking to them, I say, look, you're going to be building a home. Now, it could take 1 month, or maybe it could take 6 or 9 or 10 or whatever. But there's going to be people walking in and out of the home constantly, thousands of people. And things can happen. The chances are you're going to run into problems. You're going to have concerns. There's going to be issues. It's not if there's going to be a problem or an issue, it's how is the builder going to resolve it. So what I always tell people to do, if they happen to be out there, if they happen to see an issue or a problem, or if they have a concern about anything, always keep me in the loop. Let me know. So if they happen to go out there and they see a problem with their new home, the builder may know about it, the construction manager, but what you want to do is you want to form a paper trail. So I ask them, I say, email the construction manager and let them know the problem, but CC myself and the sales rep on there so we're all in the loop, because we're all in this to work together and work as a team to make sure you're happy. And if the problem's not getting resolved, I may have to step in, and that's what I'm here for. So here's a great example. I was having a gentleman, and he actually didn't want to work with a realtor in the beginning. He thought he could get a better deal up front. Then he went to the builder. They told him he can't, so he agreed to hire me. We're going down the road about 4 months into it. The builder was bricking his home. It was a brick home. So they were bricking his home, and he calls me up and he says, well, unfortunately, the brick looks great, but they bricked it the wrong color. And I said, okay, have you talked to the sales rep, Rachel? And he said, yes, I did. I spoke with Rachel, and Rachel told me to come in and get my earnest money back. If I didn't like the brick, they were not going to re-brick it. And I said, okay, I expected that. If you watch my other videos, builders are like 2-year-olds, or no. So I drove over to Rachel's office. I sat down and talked to her, and she explained everything to me. And I said, well, give me your sales manager's phone number. I want to talk to him. And so she did. I picked up the phone. He did a little research. They re-bricked his entire home. They took everything off. I talked to my inspector. I wanted to make sure they were doing it correctly. The inspector told me what they had to do. They did. It was completely re-bricked. So the thing is again, this comes to a real estate agent. You need to hire an agent that knows what they're doing, an agent that's a problem solver. They could get things fixed and know how builders work, know what the expectations are. And again, I don't want anybody to ever think when they're working with me, I'm going to be able to part water or just do things, anything. But at the end of the day, I've been in this a heck of a long time. I know a ton about new construction. And whoever you hire as a real estate agent, just make sure they know a lot about new construction and they are a problem fixer. They're a problem solver. So tip number 4 is visiting builders. If you ever go out to visit a builder, you always want to make sure your real estate agent's there. Don't just go out and start popping in model homes without your real estate agent, because a lot of times agents actually stand out in front of model homes. Some of them stand inside model homes and try to steal the customers. And this is becoming a problem with all the real estate agents in the business. They call it poaching. I think it's absolutely sleazy. So I don't think realtors should operate that way. I think realtors should put their customer first, not worry about the commission, because at the end of the day, if you treat people right, you're always going to be rewarded. So I'm just not into that. I don't like to hear that stuff. But the builder wants to make sure that you actually do have representation, that someone didn't, I hate to say this, but someone didn't just poach you because builders call it poaching. So anyhow, always make sure you have your real estate agent. Now, I understand that sometimes maybe your agent's out of town or maybe they're with other buyers and you want to go in and look at properties, and I completely get that. So if that is the case, contact your real estate agent. You want to work together. So tell them where you're going to be going, and they could call up the sales rep, let them know you're coming, let them know your real estate agent is a real person. Because if you go in the model and you register and your real estate agent's not there, they may not let you use a real estate agent. And again, it's not that they don't want you to use a real estate agent, because builders love using real estate agents because we bring them 70 to 80% of their clients. And I've had builder reps that I've literally followed around for year in and year out, 10, 12, 14 years. So they want to work with real estate agents, but they want to make sure everything's being done the right way. So always make sure that you contact your real estate agent, or if you walk into a model and your agent's there, don't sign the registration card. Just tell them you don't feel comfortable signing the registration card. You just want to look. You have a real estate agent. The real estate agent just can't be there, because if you go in and you sign the registration card and you start talking to the sales representative, there is a chance that they may not let you work with the real estate agent. And it's sort of like shooting yourself in the foot. So anyhow, just make sure your real estate agent is with you when you go into the model homes. All right, so the 5th tip is, let me help you. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. Again, I do these videos to help people. If you live in the Tampa Bay area, reach out to me, call me, contact me. I would love to help you. If you're somewhere else in Florida or another state, and you don't know a real estate agent that knows about new construction, reach out to me. I'll put my contact information below, and actually you could go to my Contact Us page in my website. Tell me a little bit about where you live, where you're looking, maybe what zip code you're looking in. And I know agents all over the country, especially in the new home construction industry. I could get you set up with an agent in your area. It's literally going to take me 5 minutes. So it's no problem at all. So I want to help you. I want to make sure you have a good experience. If you watched any of my builder review videos, and this is just sort of a side note, I do a lot of builder review videos, and I read a lot of comments from people who have really, really bad experiences. And I don't want to say certainly that doesn't happen. I know it does. But the 2 questions I always ask people if you read my comments and they have a bad experience is, number 1, did you have a real estate agent represent you? And number 2, did you get a home inspection on the home you're buying? And I'll tell you, so far, 100% of the time, I've never gotten an answer back to those questions. And it's really important that you do both of them. You work with a real estate agent and hire someone who, again, is really knowledgeable. It's sort of like if you were brought up on a crime you didn't commit. Would you just go to the public attorney that they're going to give you, or would you go to the best attorney out there to get the best representation? Now, what happens if I told you neither one of them is going to charge you any money? well, you're going to go to the best. And that's the same thing you want to do when you pick a real estate agent. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to share it. I appreciate you watching my videos and I hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day.